Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man George Page coming to you live on YouTube. As you know, I say I'm gonna try to do quite as many as often as I can of Black History facts. Since February is Black History Month, and once again, Black History should be celebrated every year, not just once a month, every year. But anyway, I have just a lady for you. Is one Miss Coletta Austin Colvin. Now, Miss Colvin was born September the 5th of 1939 in Montgomery, Alabama, in one of the very poorest neighborhoods, one of the poorest black neighborhoods in Montgomery. Now, when she was born to Mary Jean Gatson and C.B. Austin, but because her parents couldn't afford to raise her, she was later raised and adopted by her great aunt and uncle, Mary Ann and O.P. Colvin. Now, growing up, she was a very determined young woman, and she was part of, as she went to school, she went to Booker T. Washington High School, where she was a member of the NAACP Youth Council. Now, the council is headed by the late Rosa Parks. As you know, Rosa Parks is a legend, but here's a story I'm going to tell you more about this, why so much she shouldn't be celebrated so much as a legend for the movement, even though, I'm just going to tell you what it really is. But anyway, her and Rosa were very good friends, and she was a mentor to Coletta. Rosa was, and when around March of the 2nd of '55, Coletta got on a bus. Now, back in the day when you rode a bus, there was white and black sections only, especially in the South because of Jim Crow laws. Well, the bus got very crowded, and a couple white people got on. Now, the rule was that white people got first dibs of everything. So when there was a seat available, a black person has to move to make room for that white person. Anyway, because even though it was a black section, her and another person was told to move. She refused to move. She didn't want to move. So later, the bus driver demanded her to move, and then when it got to a point where he called the police, and they came to arrest Coletta. At the time, Coletta was 15 years old when she got arrested, and she was charged as a juvenile. Now, because of that, later on they decided to prosecute her for such things such as refusal to follow the segregation law, and also they charged her with assault on an officer. Now, we all know what that shit is. They always gonna say, "Well, you hit the officer." Yeah. But no, that's just something that's put on her just as extra charge. Anyway, this happened 9 months before the Rosa Parks demonstration, and it was the start of the Montgomery bus boycotts. Now, the NAACP filed a suit against the state of Alabama, because they called the bus segregation as unconstitutional. Now, Coletta was one of 5 plaintiffs involved in the case. And the case was called the Brower versus Gale. The case started to lose momentum in the early days of the Supreme Court of Alabama. And the problem was that there was an issue with Coletta. Coletta was a teen mom. She was pregnant at the time, and some feel like her attitude was not very good. That's why later on they did they kind of restaged the whole thing with Rosa Parks, because Rosa Parks was fair skinned and she had fair hair. Even as we all know, if you know anything, even black people are racist, prejudice against their own kind. And because Coletta was dark skinned, her hair wasn't more kinky, and because of her attitude and because she was a teen mom, the NAACP didn't feel like she was a good example for fighting for the segregation on buses. So anyway, around June of '56 to December of '28, the case was from June of '56, the case was kind of like in limbo. But by December 20th, pretty much probably the time right after Rosa Parks got arrested, the law was changed where no longer in the state of Alabama and the city of Montgomery, they abolished segregation on buses. Now, pretty much after that, Coletta had a long struggle because of the fact of what she did. People in her community and white people felt like she did not need to be around. So when after she had escaped up to her son, She had gave birth to her son, Raymond, in 58, and then she moved to New York to live with her sister. While living in New York, she had another child, and then she got a job working in a nursing home in Manhattan. She worked at that nursing home from 1969 to 2004. After that, she retired and lived the rest of her life in New York. Her son Raymond, grew up and became an accountant. And he moved to Atlanta and had a family. But in 1939, Raymond died of a heart attack. Now, here's the thing about Miss Colvin. She should be recognized as a hero. But the thing was that people forget, and I didn't know about this until I watched this thing, because there's a show called Drunk History, and it's on Comedy Central. And they did an episode where it talked about her. And I never knew about that. I always knew about Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, she's ladies in state. She has quite a couple of statues dedicated to her, but she was not really the real face of the movement. She was just a face they used, but the fact was they felt like this 15-year-old, dark-skinned, pregnant girl wouldn't be a good example. And that's sad. This girl risked her own, like I said, back then, you do something like that, like, hey, I don't want to do, I don't want to bend to the white people. You get prosecuted, you get punished, because you feel like, as a human being, I had the right, to live as I want to live. I have the right to be, seen as a person, no matter what my creed, my color, anything. But you know what? I gotta respect Miss Colvin. She's an amazing woman, and and there's a lot of people nowadays don't stand up for what they should believe in, like what's going on right now in the country. Like just recently, the dumbass in chief just gave Rush Limbaugh the award of freedom, which this man does not deserve. I mean, he's a racist. He just spouts hate. But this person here, this lady here, Miss Colette Colvin, should be getting the award of freedom. I don't know why he didn't happen to do a Barack's term. I wish he did it. And but she does get some acknowledgement. There's some stories told about her. There's even a kind of a poem wrote about her. But I want you out there to just if you look at my video, Google her. Check her out. Go to the library. This woman was what youth today stands for. To stand up for what you want to believe in. And that's why I feel like this is what our country needs. We need more people to stand up and fight for the right to be recognized and heard. Well, I'd like to thank you, Miss Colette Austin Colvin. You did a great job, and you are truly a hero. No disrespect to Rosa Parks, but you are really the one that should be recognized and honored. It's your man, George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.